Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to chapter 2 of my book, Technologies Are the Arts. And this chapter talks about what is technology. I am Engineer Noel Ngowi, Managing Director for Mino Concert Limited, with over 37 years experience in construction industry, including water supply projects, highways, rapid transit, bridge engineering, and also I'm a lecturer. I've been a lecturer in various universities in Tanzania. Thank you very much. Welcome to chapter 2 of the book, Technologies Are the Arts. Chapter 2, I think, is the main chapter. And you need to understand that's where the problem with African intellectuals starts. What is technology? Of course, there are some definitions given on technology, but I hope after listening to me, you will know what is technology. You might think that you know what is technology, but please listen to me so let me explain. According to Wikipedia, technology is the making, usage, and knowledge of tools, machines, techniques, craft, systems, or method of organization in order to solve a problem or perform a specific function. So if we can use tools, machines, equipment, systems, or way of doing things, and you can translate those things into solution to a problem, or you solve a specific problem, or you make life easier, then you are applying technology. So that's the definition. Sometimes we say that technology is the application of science. Yes, but not totally true. This is the art of applying the tools to solve a problem. You may have all the sciences you need, but if you don't have the art of applying what you know into a reality, then you don't have technology. And that's why even when we are talking about the highest developed technology, we talk about the state of art technology. Mind the word art and underline it. And that is where the problem lies, because Africans are very busy with the sciences, but they don't have times for developing the art of doing things. So the word technology originated from a Greek word, technologia, the study of the art. And mind you, the word technology came before the word science, because the word science came later through a Latin word scientia. Scientia means knowledge that can be rationally explained. So you'll find that the aim of science is to give explanations, but the aim of technology is to solve problems, is to make life easier, is to manipulate the nature. So science helps us to know the nature, but technology helps us to manipulate the nature and to better our lives, or to better the way of doing things. So what's the difference between science and technology? In my book I've written, science is a reasoned investigation or study of phenomena aimed at discovering enduring principles among elements of the phenomenal world by employing formal technique such as scientific method. Technologies are not usually exclusive products of science, because they have to satisfy requirements such as utility, usability, and safety. So you cannot just say, technology is the result of application of science. It is not exclusive product of that. It is more than that. You are looking on how beautiful it is, how usable it is. You are looking about safety, about utilities. So somebody who is developing technology, he uses more than sciences. So as I've written, science is not exclusive, technology is not exclusive product of science. It is more than that. It is my observation that though technology is defined as applied sciences, it is not possible to develop a technology without developing the corresponding arts for the associated activities. This is due to the fact that technologies are associated with tools, machines, techniques, crafts, systems. Use of these tools, machines, techniques, crafts, and systems require people with the relevant skills or art. Lack of technologies in African countries, irrespective of having many intellectuals in the continent, can be associated with the intellectuals being highly scientific and neglecting development of the required arts to solve the problems and establishing functional requirements. If you have the science, then you need to look for the art. And if otherwise, you need to look for the artisan. There's somebody we call artisan, the technician, the one who is translating that knowledge into a reality. So African intellectuals have been neglecting the artisans, the technicians. We say, oh, you know, we need scientists, but what about the technicians? And how are we preparing them? Because technologies deals with doing things. Science deals with knowing things. What I want to tell you is that sometimes you may be able to do things which you cannot explain. You don't have the scientific knowledge, but you are able to apply them. By the way, in my book, I have written in page 14, non-human species also apply technologies in their daily lives. You may be astonished. Do those animals or non-human species study science? In my book, you may find there is a picture of this is a monkey which is crossing a river. And the monkey wanted to know whether it can cross or not. So it cuts a tree, then it put the tree on the river to measure the depth, so that it may know whether it will be able to pass or not. If it finds that, the depth is small, then the monkey moves. Then it measures again. It is doing hydrographic survey. You know, we human beings also are doing survey or measuring the depth of water. But we have got other equipment than this stick. So even animals have got technologies. Also in my book, you will find here, there is an anthill. I found it in Tunduru, in Tanzania, in Ruvuma region, when I was moving for designing a bridge. So I saw this anthill, which have got a height of approximately 3 meters. How could this ant construct such a big structure? Because if you look the proportion of a human being and an ant, it is as if they've constructed a 1,500 story of a building. And they don't have laboratory or anything. But mind you, the soil which they are using is well selected. And even human beings who want to construct bricks, we go and take this is soil which have been used by the ant. Why don't we look for our own? These ants have got no laboratory. They don't know science, but they are able to construct such a big structure. So what I want to tell you is that I'm not against science. Also, myself, I studied sciences, and I am an engineer. But I would like to tell you that you have to go beyond science. Come to developing the art. And if you know that you need the art, you cannot despise someone who was not going to school. because that who was not going to school can give you ideas which will enable you to develop technology. So that is the problem of African intellectual. We think that if we studied in colleges and in universities, so we are higher, we cannot listen to such people who are they are lowly educated and they are doing things just from their experience. No, you have to be able to listen. Let me give you another example of the bee. The bee are making some honey. They are making some honey, and we are taking that honey and using it. It has got high nutritional value. Those bees have no chemist. They don't have a laboratory, but they are making honey, which is very useful for our bodies. So if you think you are highly scientific and you are a chemist, try to make your own honey and see. So we need to know more than what is taught in our universities. Sometimes we are not teaching our young ones to develop skills to do things. We are just teaching them to know and to be able to explain and to be able to solve equations. And that is good, but we need to have a balance. So in my book, in the same chapter, I've written History of Technological Development. Let me read a little bit from my book. African governments should guide their nations to invest in technologies. Systems should be set up to assist the African nations to invest in business which will enhance technological development. This can be implemented successfully if Africans try to visit the history of technological development and how it came about, and try to establish the reasons which contributed to others developing their technology, while Africa made a very small amount of technological development. I would like to quote Dr. David Oyedepo, who said that people who study history make history. So if you want to make history, you need to study the history of those who achieved, of the achievers, and see whether you are following the same trend or you are going astray. The problem with African intellectuals, we don't read more than what we are taught in universities. We don't read more than assignments given by our professors. But we need to read more, and we need to learn more, and to learn how the Europeans have been able to develop their technologies, and why we Africans are not doing well in developing our technologies. Thank you to chapter 2. Please don't miss listening to chapter 3.
Snow Music Studio. Snow Music Studio.